No, no, we're not in the 80s, right? We're gonna have small riders. And then they're gonna be super small, like, hello everybody! And welcome to what we're gonna call it Paintover Monday, or roast my painting gently. Good. You guys submitted on the Discord channel for Valhalla for Artists your paintings, and I just gonna go over them and see if I can make your beautiful artwork even more beautiful. Right? I don't want to call this thing roast me gently. Just gonna improve your artwork. So it's gonna go like this. Everybody provided a reference and what they wanted out of the painting. I'm gonna read it out loud, and then I'll see how we can improve the painting. So the number one submission is from Boris, the Bullet Dodger. I tried to paint a huge menacing demon. I feel like I messed up something. Maybe light or colors are wrong. I like this painting, but it feels off somehow. Thank you, Boris, for submitting the thing. And let's go over it. Number one test. Or number one thing not to do. First of all, square format. No, we're not in the 80s, right? We watch TVs. We don't watch those TVs anymore. We watch big 16:9, good aspect ratio. This is a sin against humanity if you have a square format, all right? So it's a big no. Like, you have an option. I know you paint on iPad. You have an option to, like, resize your things, right? So please do that. Square format, non-cinematic. Probably do. All right, we have the background without the guy. Let's have the guy. And if we want something to look huge, right? Let's push it into the atmosphere a little bit. Something like this, because atmospheric perspective is a thing if you want to show things in a distance. Yeah, as you can see, now we have a little bit of trees in the foreground, just so there's a little bit of depth. And you did pretty good with faraway mountains in terms of the atmospheric perspective is there, but the demon looks like a black void. And the thing is, you might wanted it that way, but the thing is, the illusion of depth gets lost, and it looks like the demon's right here in the foreground, and it should be in the middle ground and the foreground. Like, overall in this painting, I really like what's going on with, like, dynamic little demon splotches here, as I already said. I really like the saturated blue glow. I really like the stormy, very impressionistic. Another thing that you have to keep in mind is when things get further away into the distance, well, the amount of detail also gets lost. So, for example, here you have too much detail, probably because you zoomed in. When you are painting anything, start very big, zoom out, and then, if your painting allows you, then zoom in slowly and then get the details in. But do not ever, like, number one rule that I give to my students is, if you can't see one of your sides of your canvas from this side or from this side, you're in trouble. That means you are not solving the necessary problems. You are solving unnecessary problems, because you know that the painting is not working, and what you're doing is you're trying to be productive at the painting. So you zoom into, like, right top corner, start rendering your trees out. Why? Because you're not working on your focal point. We still want this thing to be really close, but you did want to put his the thing is, if we do it like this, right? Another thing is that you have a huge giant, right, in the frame, and then imagine any Godzilla movie. Right? What do you see? You see feet, you see portions of the creature. Why? Like, imagine you saw this giant yourself. What are you gonna do? You're either gonna tilt down because you can only see the entire giant from a skyscraper, or you're gonna look up. You can lower the camera, make the shot slightly look upwards, so the camera is looking up at the creature, right? Something like this, for example. Let's make a ground plane so we can see. It's gonna be slightly cheated. I'm okay with that. Maybe it's gonna be tiny ground. So as you can see, camera is gonna be super low. Where is it? Interesting. Let's see. So the ground super low. And maybe over here, let's just make it as a silhouette. Let's push the trees a little bit like this. Now let's say there's gonna be, the classic standoff, right? There's gonna be a dude, maybe a Viking. No Vikings. All right. It's gonna be a not a Viking dude. It's gonna be a strong dude who's like ready for battle. And another thing is try to avoid flat compositions, right? So when you are making anything, so right now you have just a straight on, like 1 point perspective, and it's slightly flat, right? Your camera, like your horizon line is almost in the middle, which is a no-no. Your camera, again, it's floating in the middle, and for dynamic shots, you either go super high or super low. There's no clear foreground, which would be good if you did have, and the guy itself, as I said before, doesn't match the composition in terms of the atmospheric perspective, right? He should be much lighter. You know what? What should I do with this creature? You know what? I need to repaint it. I tried to keep your original creature, dude. Small riders go, and then they're gonna be super small, like I remember with Nazguls. All right, okay, they're gonna be very small. Misha, why are you making your life so hard? Yeah, let's draw horses, man. Horses is the hardest thing. So I'm gonna cheat. I'm just gonna indicate the horses there. They're gonna be so. Look at this. Look at this massive scale, dude. And then we can make little trees. Because if you still want to, make little indications of trees and everything here, you still can. Something like this. But again, it's all about our focal point right now, and the focal point is our creature, right? And maybe some trees over here, they start to fall down under the fog, maybe, right? Some in the foreground, so we have depth. Going over here, maybe I'll have one bigger tree right here. So we show that all the other trees that are indicated over there, they're just smaller variations of whatever is in the foreground. And that's the trick most of the times, to get away with almost no detail, what you can do is you can indicate detail in the foreground, and then if something is getting repeated that kind of resembles whatever is in the foreground, the brain automatically is going to fill in the blanks, and that's the superpower of the brain. For example, when you do foliage or grass, all you have to do is just indicate a little bit of that in there. You know what? Let's make fog over here. I should have just started painting my own painting from the start, man. Right, we need to make sure that where's our cowboys? There you go. Cowboys. I need to make sure that maybe the cowboys have a little bit of, like, you know, a little bit of dust going in. They're going after the creature. They want to protect them. And you know what? We can do a whole army if we really wanted to. You know, maybe with some just some, you know, flags and spears. And again, I'm gonna indicate them because I don't have the time. But this way, good for now, right? So when I paint, what I do is I indicate stuff to basically almost like as a placeholder, and then I start working on the rest of the painting. And you know what? Those guys can have a little bit of contrast, so we actually see them. And you know what? If we want to be true to, you know, true Gandalf style, and we can even indicate darkness against the light. I have a little bit of like a god rays going down. Yeah, cinematic lighting. Let's go. All right. I think it gets the point across. Boris, my dude, it's a very nice frame. I sadly didn't give it justice in terms of like the creepy design of the dude, but hopefully you got the main point across, which is it lacked story, it lacked scale. So we changed the camera to be lower, right? So this way the scale actually sells. We added little dudes for scale, right? And we eliminated a lot of the textures. So all the details are only in our focal point. So for example, for me, it's where the dudes are and where the creature is. Everything else is there to support, not to distract. Because if you put details in the wrong spot, the viewer looks in the wrong spot. I connected those two things. Yeah, hope you like it. Yeah, thanks for submitting again.